Hey there, kiddo. Lieutenant, sorry again. You're with me for this one. So, the Grown Incursion have stolen some important Felsi tech. I will explain what it is as we go along. And this being Berbera, which in addition to being wetter than wet, is also very, very neutral. We can't just fight them for it, and they can't admit they took it. So we're going to take this land pod, or I guess a water pod because of where we are, over to the museum where you're going to keep your HUD on because Doc isn't sure about your acclimatization yet to this atmosphere. And we're going to quietly get past the guards because you and I are going to be siblings. That's kind of how we're going to play this thing. You're going to be my kid sibling. Now, in order to make this look good for the rich people, because I know you didn't grow up on Berbera, I didn't either, it's a little different for us. This museum is, we're gonna have to play it the way they play it. Yeah, the plaques on the wall, so those are artifacts that were found with some of these big, beautiful kind of installations. And I'm pretty sure that in one of these installations is where they have hidden, well, the thing we're looking for. Now, I'm going to need you to be super cool with me doing some weird stuff at your face because they have rules about how they think this place should be enjoyed to put you in the proper frame of mind. Again, rich people are weird, so I'm going to need to do little sounds up and around you. So while you're watching these art pieces descending, I'm going to need you to talk real quietly. They don't like it to be noisy. And you just gotta carefully watch the center of each descending piece. And when we talk to each other, we have to talk quietly, and we have to talk kind of with this movement that the museum guard kind of demonstrated when we first came in. That's gonna be like this. They want us to do, yeah, I know this is super weird. To me, this is also super weird, but this is how rich people do, okay? And we already don't look super well dressed, so we have to try not to stand out too much. So, I also think they look really neat, but I am not entirely certain what purpose they serve. I think they look really neat. Oh, the plaques, you were asking me about the plaques. So I don't know. Some people think it's a dead language that's on them. I think they look like pictures, like little tiny snakes and things. Yeah, I don't know. They're very different. It's been a while since I saw you up on the, yeah, off in the R&R room. You doing okay? Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, so I guess this is a room where, stay sharp, but it looks like this is a room demonstrating how people on the human homeworld used to live. I guess on the human homeworld they used to wear these kind of things when they were out and about. And this is how they expressed themselves. Yeah, I don't see anything particularly incriminating here either. That one looks really interesting. Yeah, there's like no grass on Berbera anymore. Berbera is so... Apparently, thousands and thousands of years ago, it was a little bit more like Alpino or Luna Guatala, a little more temperate. But of course now, most of the planet is underwater. Therefore, most of the civilizations live underwater. This particular city where we've landed, one of like maybe 5 or 6 like large floating settlements, I think, on the entire planet, just because everything else is small fishing mats that float here and there, small fishing villages that are like sewn together. Yeah. And then most of the trade and commerce and everything else is all under the water. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're supposed to be doing this. You should be doing this also. This is supposed to help us calmly and quietly identify and put ourselves in the moment. So it is a way of being respectful to the pieces that we are looking at here in the museum. Yeah. I'm looking down and around because I don't want to miss anything, but you know though, they're kind of onto something. Yeah. So, by onto something, I mean, there's actually a way to calm down, both for folks who have mental illness and folks who don't, where you do bring yourself to the moment, since a lot of anxiety, especially, whether you have mental illness or you're just a person, and it's hard to be a person. Actually, some of these, there's tricks and tips you can use, and a lot of anxiety is either future thinking or past thinking, right? Either mulling on things that happened, which can be discouraging, or freaking out about things that haven't happened yet exactly. What do you tend to do more of? I know you're kind of young for me to be asking that question, but I have observed you. Yeah, keep my eyes open. How do you stay in the moment? Yeah, like your teacher. That's right. So you were taught by a draconian on Alpino. Exactly like that. That's a great technique. Do you want to learn a different one? So, this one is called in and out. It's a good way to help you calm down in case you have to make a decision, or calm down enough so that you can actually think through what's actually going on. Because sometimes we can be so hyped up, whether because of our nervous system, neurotransmitter spillage, other things like that. We can be so hyped up that it's not really possible even for us to correctly evaluate our thoughts, and that can be an issue. Yeah. Especially people with personality disorders, it can be especially difficult. You're right, it is good to focus. Apparently, these were the dominant species on the human homeworld for a long time. These kinds of little dudes. Yep. And again, another plaque that was found with it. I think they're just keeping them with them in case future scientists are able to decipher them. But to me, I'm pretty sure they're like a mistake, like a child's drawing that was found with it. Yeah, I don't see. So yeah, you got the mission brief to your wristband, right? So you know what we're looking for. Excellent. Yeah, I don't see it either. It is a really cool exhibit. Look at the detail on these boyos. It is too bad you have to wear the HUD, but once Doc clears you for this atmosphere, you won't have to wear it anymore. So, yeah, I didn't either. So, in and out. So, the way in and out works is you first notice, you let yourself notice a thing inside, one of those stressful, frustrating things, right? Which can be something people don't want to do sometimes. And then you let yourself notice one thing outside. In and out, in and out. And you do that with each sense. So you start first with something that you taste, something you hear, something you feel, something you can touch, which is feeling. That's the middle finger. And what you see and what you smell, right? So that's outside and inside. So for example, right now, I'm gonna be honest with you, my back is killing me. That's my inside thing. My back is killing me. And outside, I noticed this, where'd he go? this green, oh, they go really quickly. This little green guy, I can see him flitting by, that they've released into the air here to help clean it. Yeah. Alright, and then back inside again, I noticed that my chest is really tight. I've had a lot of... I'm not afraid to admit it, kiddo. I'm not too big to be scared. My last mission on Luna Wadala was awful, and my chest has been tight since then. So, and there are things here that kind of remind me of that. So, I take a deep breath as I recognize that. Deep breath in with my stomach. Yeah, with my stomach. Put my hand on my stomach so my stomach inflates instead of my chest. That's because I'm trying to trigger my parasympathetic nervous system and not my sympathetic nervous system. And when you breathe with your chest, generally that's a parasympathetic nervous system thing not to do. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Your fight or flight system, like when you're running, and your chest is going whoo, 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 they go together. The parasympathetic or the rest system tends to do more stuff with your gut. It sends the blood to your gut when you have to rest, for example, and you gotta eat and things like that. Alright. Yeah, I don't see it here either. That is cool, though. I don't know what these... I guess these were the kind of structures that they might have. That one looks like it's made of fur. It could be hidden behind one of these. But I think, yeah, how about over here? I like those. Those are really pretty. You're going so fast, kid. You could really stand to slow down. We are in a hurry to find this stuff, but we also don't want our cover blown by some, zippy little, obviously child soldier, freedom fighter type person. I know you guys don't like being called child soldiers, but, because I know you're refugees and the only way that you can survive is by fighting to defend yourselves. I know. I get it. But I mean, technically you are very young, right? Wow, that looks odd. Oh, neat. I wonder if that's a form of transportation they had back then. I wonder what kind of creature that is. Yeah, that's better. Taking it in little by little. Just kind of taking a look at what you see. I mean, how often, and I know I'm whispering at you, but they want us to whisper anyway, so this is conducive to that. But I know you're used to living in places where someone's always trying to, kill you. But here, they can't publicly do that. So we just gotta take it slow. Wow, look at those textures. Are those supposed to be mushrooms? That's neat. So, I guess that's what it was like in the human homeworld at the end of things. Very neat. Yeah, we're supposed to be doing this. I think she showed this one, and then this one. I know. You are too serious, kiddo. Not too serious. It's good. Not gonna judge you. You're exactly how you need to be. You've had a rough go of it. So my next in, right? Tight chest. My next out. I first did something I see, now I'm gonna do something I hear. I hear these little fluttering wings. Fluttering, fluttering, fluttering wings. And then my next in, My stomach is churning. Because, yeah, I'm scared. I'm not used to the kinds of fights that I can't punch. It's also my first time on this kind of mission. Right? We're gonna be here for a while, though. Because, well, apparently orders even all the way up from the Admiral to protect you. Keep you. Or your unit, I guess. I think you are going to be assigned to my family squad, yeah, actually. There's two other... I mean, I assumed you'd lost both of them. Yeah. The other two kiddos in my squad also don't really have family. So, and it's me and two other adults. You'll get settled in and you'll like it. What is the point of having family squads? Well, it's because we can't exactly... It's not really psychologically healthy for people to be segregated by age. It makes people become real cultish, cliquish, and weird. And this helps to diversify training. So, and it keeps the families of the refugees together. So a family squad is originally created to like arm and protect the refugees. The family learns how to fight and protect themselves as a unit. And then for those who don't have the families, they're kind of put in with squads like ours. Yeah. You've been in the Frelsey like all your life. How did you not? Oh, you know that, but you don't ask questions. You're not allowed to ask questions. Well, you're welcome to ask questions while you're with my squad. Such as, I wonder what's in that book. You spend a lot of time looking at the nonsense, like, plaques. Look at that. I guess that's the kind of thing that people in the human homeworld wore. And ate, I guess. Those are beautiful. Well, I guess they have the kind of faded colors because they're old, you know. It's been a long time. This is an interesting creature. Oh yeah. They have creatures like that on Luna Guadala, actually. Yeah. You've never been... Oh, you were when you were little? Ah, honey. You've been a lot of places for a youngster, a young one. Yeah. Like I said, the assignment to my family squad hasn't been finalized quite yet. You have trouble remembering things? That's pretty common with kiddos who've gone through some of the stuff you've gone through. Alright. Maybe that's why they didn't want you in a combat zone anymore. Well, because it's dangerous if you can't stay in the moment. That doesn't mean that you are... Well, okay. What do you mean by broken? What's wrong with being broken? I'm serious. If you know you're broken, you know you can be fixed. And sometimes these old broken ships and weapons are much more reliable than these like new fancy ones that then like completely break down every single year. These old ones, they can be repaired. Sometimes you just gotta tinker a little bit. Reliable stuff. Alright, so you do in and out with me. Yep. No, I'm just one of the... I did train with Dr. Patty Loyland, yeah. And I have been stationed on Luna Guadala before. Yeah, you like it. It covers up my Frelsey wristband pretty well, so you can't tell. It just looks like a civilian bracelet. Well, we're not trying to hide the fact that we're Frelsey. Frelsey people are allowed to operate here. We just gotta keep it on the DL. because it's not, especially when we're doing things like what we're doing today. It's really convenient that whispering is so... Rich people are strange. I think it's because rich people have discovered, or not rich people have discovered, but, you know, the ASMR phenomenon. Like, people can't get enough of that, so they're always trying to trigger that in public spaces. You don't know what that is? I'll explain some other time. Don't crawl under there. Just, I don't think it's down there. No, I don't think there are loose floorboards. How neat. What is that thing? That is a huge, like, weaving. That's really neat. On the wall behind you, I meant. Behind the snake. That's neat. All kinds of artwork. I like the stars too. I know you didn't say you did, but I can see you looking at them. I can tell that you like them. So, you know, this ain't my first rodeo, okay? Oh, you're only inspecting them to see if there's a hint. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be behind something flat. It's kind of spherical. We're looking for. So I think it's probably going to be tucked into something. And that's where you're going to come in because you have small hands and, well, okay, not small hands, not trying to insult you. You are younger than me and not as large as me. So I think it's going to be easier for you to get back what we need to get back. Oh, smart kid. Yeah. Okay, so I guess you know more about it than I do. So I guess we'll train you up to be our weapons-focused buddy, our tech manager. Well, I mean, so the benefit to family squads not being so specialized and having one person who specializes but then teaches everybody basic competence is then if that person dies, the rest of the group can still survive, right? So like there's one person who, you know, they focus on food acquisition for the squad, right? And of course when we're staying with in large bases where we have everything provided for us, that person doesn't have to do a lot of work, but then it's their job to teach and make sure the other people understand how to be safe. We train as we fight, right? Lots of training. By safe, I mean how to not die if you're in a survival situation out in the middle of nowhere. That's what I mean by safe. No, we'll find it. Just be patient. You have trouble. You do an in and out with me. What do you notice inside yourself? Notice one thing inside yourself. Take a deep breath when you do it. Put a hand on your chest, a hand on your belly. Yeah. And then notice something you see. Notice another thing inside yourself. What order should you go in for things inside yourself? You can go in the same order. So for things you see, you know, check in on your head. How do you feel inside? Do you have a headache? Are your eyes strained? You know, what kind of fluttering thought? Let the thought be there. That's okay. Notice it, but then notice a thing outside yourself. And the same thing. Well, what matches with what you hear? I listen to my breathing. feel? How do I feel? How's my chest? And then what do I hear outside? And then feel, I tend to match with my stomach. But, you know, if you've got any pain or anything, something you might notice, I basically go head to toe. I start with head, chest, belly, and work my way down. Did I not do that just now? And I'm also a little, I know I don't look it, but I'm also a little stressed. Oh, that would have been a good place to hide it, huh? Down in there. Yeah, that's not it. It is kind of glow lighty, but they would have painted it. That's not it. What does this come from? This thing? Since I'm not a doctor. I am the medic for the family squad though. My squad, which, like I said, the word on the street is that you're going to be assigned to it. I can stop using the word family if you want. Yes. It is just a squad. I usually use that with the younger refugees so that they kind of understand what the purpose of it is in case they don't have one. But yes, it's not meant to replace anything. You have like more than a chip on your shoulder. You've got like the whole bag. Oh, is that not how that metaphor is supposed to be? It's not about like chips you eat. It's supposed to be notches. Well, you know so much about language. Yes, that was sarcasm. Look how soft this thing is. I'm gonna put my feet on it. You can't stop me. That's huge. Can you imagine the amount of time it would take to make this by hand? That's crazy. Wow. What if these are art pieces and not like historical artifacts? Well, obviously that's an art piece. But as far as the purpose of them, I mean, we know a lot about history from... You know what, you're right. Those would be a good place to tuck something into. I wonder if we need to re-examine the ones that were out there. You know, the skylight ones that went up and down. Yeah. No, I think you're right. Look at that. I guess it's like nature taking over, or, well, I mean, to me this is probably a representation about how their planet was destroyed. Oh, the human homeworld wasn't destroyed? Hey, history isn't really my thing either. You're a clever young one. You think it's a commentary on pollution? What do you mean by that? You really think these are art pieces, not... Yeah, and no, I'm with you. I'm with you. They certainly don't seem to be something for a specific function, but pretty cool. I agree. I still think I might not be wrong, though. Look at that. Wow. Gee. That's really neat. You're looking a lot at these plaques, but I'm telling you, there's... Yeah. I guess, according to the museum guide, this was like one of the dominant species on the human homeworld. Yeah. Well, the museum guard's kind of staring at us a little bit. Do you see? Yeah. You need to get your hands up. You need to move slower. That's good. That's right. That lady was dressed super strangely. Yeah. Don't be on the floor. It looks really weird. You're gonna get us in trouble. I'm not laughing at you, kiddo. Look, I like to have a little fun. I think you're adorable. No, not. Oh my gosh, you have so many feelings. Your age is hard. It's hard to be that age. It's hard. It's gonna be okay though. Hey, you're right. It might not be okay. But we're not in the future right now, so we don't know. It could be all terrible, but we don't know. It could also be great. You have no idea. Right now we're here. Right here. We're breathing in and out. And in. And out. And in. And out. And in. Notice something that's inside. Like that racing heart? Yeah. Now notice something outside. What do you hear? Yeah. Alright. Next, let's move down from your chest. How's your belly? Yeah. Alright, let's move down from your ears. How's your nose? Is your nose higher than your ears? Mine is definitely lower. Yeah. What do you smell? Oh, Mom. Oh, you're right. Good catch. Nicely done. I don't think anyone saw your hand go up in there. Yep, just keep looking at it a few seconds as if you're... Oh, you didn't get it that time. Oh, you got it this time. Okay, good. That's exactly where they were. It's very overconfident of them to stuff it in the entrance, but it kind of makes sense. Well, it makes sense because they were being followed by Frelsey agents on their way in. So they had to stash it real quick before something happened. Alright, keep looking. No, we're not just gonna get out of here. We're gonna keep looking. It cannot look like anything just happened because, you know, it's not like there aren't grown watching the area. And it's not like they don't target young people or kids. Okay, fine, not kids. That's why I said young people at first. You're gonna keep me on my toes, aren't you? Yep. Alright. I think... Yeah, I'm just checking your bag here. I'm just making sure. Okay. I think we're gonna hang out here about another minute. And then we should get ourselves back to the land pod. Yep. Back to the land pod. Yep, just checking your bag. And then I know. And you don't have to wear the HUD in here. It's atmosphere controlled. Well, I figure... well, I think we're family, so I think we can share the bed, but I'll take the floor, and you take the bunk. Sound good? That's what we're gonna do, soldier. Yep. I get to decide. You don't have a reputation for talking back this much. Wow. I'm not gonna... Oh, you were just trying to be in character for the mission. In character as a sibling. No, that's fair enough. You have a reputation for being pretty quiet and kind of a good kid. I like for getting things done. And what? Because of the outburst, that's why you ended up getting sent to Berber. Well, you've had many breakdowns. Welcome to the club. In an ideal world, none of us would be in any kind of military. Certainly not you. You'd be going to like a school. Hopefully not an awful one. Scratch that. Schools suck. In an ideal world, you and your family would be learning together. You would study the things that mattered to you. And you guys would share labor. You'd all work at home or from home. Maybe you'd have your farm. Maybe someone in the family would be having a tech job that's distance. And you would have enough funds, maybe not to explore all the solar systems, but enough that you can every now and then get out of town. And you would grow up, meet somebody, or maybe not, but if you didn't, you would enjoy what you did. And, continue the cycle. That would be the ideal world. And the ideal world, someone like me. Yeah. None of us would be in any kind of this thing. Even in a sub-ideal world, even in a subpar world, militaries would be not full of people like us. But, it's self-defense. The Frelsi help us to survive. Yeah, I'm contaminated. Yep, the Groen do not like people like me. Are you contaminated too? You think? Oh, you know. You hate that word. That's right. I was looking at your file. You have a past capture history. Yeah. I'm sorry. We will not talk about it, no. I don't want to talk about it either. I'm not your doctor or your therapist. What's a therapist? Well, a long time ago, they used to divide the parts of the body as if some parts were treated by doctors and other parts were treated by other people. They don't do that anymore. See, I do know a little bit about history. Yeah. That's just social anxiety talking. It's okay that you talked back today. We're not going to do it in a, emergency or combat situation. Then we're just going to get our things done, right? But, we're going to make this work. So the next step, we are here, and the reason I had you store the tech in the land pod for the next person to pick up, and we had the handoff right in the land pod, we are supposed to look like if we do still have it, we are not there, right? So that doesn't go back to our ship, so there's no sabotage for the main ship and everyone else who landed recently. So we're kind of hoping to draw, now we are hoping to draw attention to ourselves. Yeah. Not a lot. We don't, just, so, yeah, I've never stayed in anywhere this fancy either. This is how rich people live. But, I think it's gonna be nice. You got some sleep. In and out. In and out. Notice the inside, notice the outside. Breathe in, breathe out. That way we're here and we can focus on what we need to focus on. I'm gonna get a little more work done. I just have to finish my mission report. Something you are thankfully spared from. Now, we don't have to do a ton of paperwork, not like the growing. All I have to do is make sure that the stuff that I recorded goes into where it needs to go. Yeah. So, actually, even like when I was hanging out with you in the R&R room on the ship, on the big ship where we came from. Yeah, not the land pod, the ship. Yeah, the other night. That's recorded on your wristband. Yeah. Yeah, so if you ever forgot something we went over, as far as like some of this resilience stuff, you can go back to it. Yeah. So you know how your wristband has that description area? Yeah. Well, in there, I'll send you the where in the memory of your wristband you need to look. Yeah. It'll be like a link directly to kind of the memory. Yeah. Well, and that's where I talked to you about the sleep mask. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I brought mine with me, actually. Yeah. Help you get some real IRL sleep.